23 be referred to the Committee on Poverty Alleviation and Social Reform. Item number 24 be referred to the Committee on Ways and Means, Trade and Industry. Item number 25 be referred to the Committee on Youth and Sports Development. Item number 26 and items number 28 to 34 be transferred to the new business of the day, and this will be marked as item number 38 and items number 39 to 35 respectively. Item number 27 be referred to the Committee on Laws, Justice, and Human Rights. So I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion.
As item number
Yeah. Mr. Presiding Officer, based on the referring to the manifestation of Board Member Garcia,
item number 46, new business for the day.
under the new business for the day, for the proposed amendment, and this will be marked as item number 46. I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Since we have no item under the privilege R, Mr. Presiding Officer, we now move to our question R. Under the question R, we have two items. First is to update this August body relative to the programs and activities of the provincial government for the upcoming Civil Service Month celebration on the month of September 2026, and we have cause to invite Ms. Mayela Humalon from our HRMO 3. Ma'am Mayela.
Is she around?
Okay, morning, hello ma'am. Morning, afternoon day.
Good afternoon.
And second item is to update this August body relative to the installation of closed-circuit television cameras throughout the provincial government compound and areas around the Kaamulan Tree Park as part of the provincial government's continuing efforts to provide security to personnel and its constituents. And we caused to invite Mr. Joel S. Victoria, our PGO PICTD head. Si Sir Joel. For that purpose, Mr. Presiding Officer, I move to suspend our internal house rules to accommodate our guests.
There's a motion to suspend our internal house rules. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
May we now recognize Ms. Mayela Humalon, Mr. Presiding Officer, to give us an update regarding the plans for the upcoming 2026 Civil Service Month-long celebration.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Presiding Officer. Good afternoon, the honorable members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. I am presenting this afternoon the lined activities for the forthcoming 126th Civil Service Month celebration that will be on the whole month of September. So as planned, ma'am and sirs, on the first week is September 1 to 4. September 1, we will have a launching of the Civil Service anniversary that includes the hanging of tarpaulins along the buildings of SP, PGO, PTO, PEDMO, and the PPDO. And then September 4 will be the kick-off activities. As planned, we will be having a motorcade from the provincial capital to the provincial sports complex, Laguitas. And from there, we will be having our opening program to be followed by the cheer dance competition, and then the executive pickleball game. And then in the afternoon, we will have a invitational game from Philippine National Police and the Bureau of Fire Protection at 2 p.m. And then the 3 p.m. will be the rematch between PGB executives and the city government. For the second week, we will have a capability development activities that will be having also a job fair. And then on the Wednesday, that will be September 9, is the outreach service program. So there will be bloodletting, medical services, legal services, veterinary services, and the Kadiwa program. There will be a short change in the Kadiwa program for this year because we will be inviting employees who engage in sale of agricultural produce or other products. And then our sports activities will be conducted every Thursdays and Fridays. So that will commence on September 10. And then on the third week, that is September 21 to 25, that is considered as a sports week. But the whole week will not be used for that activity, sir. Only Thursdays and Fridays. And then on the 25 is fun run for a cause. So we made it a slogan, in every footstep, a promise of support, which we will have a compulsory contribution of 10 pesos per employee. The proceeds will be given to our fellow employees who are presently undergoing medical crisis, health crisis. So we are going to choose at least 4 employees. And then if ever there is problems or unfavorable weather conditions, we have identified windows for the continuation of the games, which will be September 24, 25, 28, 29. And then on September 30 is the culminating activity, which includes the final games of basketball and volleyballs. And we will have also 100 or 500 meter run relay at the sports complex. And then that will be followed by a budol fight lunch. So by October 2, the beneficiary of our fun run, which was conducted on September 25, will be the schedule for distribution and visitation. That will be all, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Ma'am, question lang. So, tanan employees mo diretso na dito o mo dapat mo-appeal sa motorcade?
Okay, just for a clarification, I was informed this morning, sir, that the governor will not allow us to have a motorcade. So, probably diretso na ta dito.
Okay. Nala ko igamay yung suggestion, ma'am. Last year, man good, observation na po na ako na, ma'am. Gwapo man good yapon to na atay murag parade bitaw yapon. Okay. At least after the parade man good ayon mo form na man good na sa di ba front sa tunga teams. The last time man good murtag ka ng medyo informal kay ba na nawag tahali na mo so good na. So I hope bisag dito lang sa sports complex siguro gamay nga march lang ano sa mga teams para mas formal siya ang pag-arrange ba.
We'll consider that, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ayun to my colleagues. Ha?
Yes.
Yes, Board Member Owen Garcia.
I think so.
Yeah. Maybe kung naalaman in one venue in the sports complex, after the parade dito, the usual program for sports activities na ay katong oath of sportsmanship and the like, no? Kay aron na formal, and then siguro signing pod sa burning of the Olympic
Torch.
flame or torch para kuan lang sad nga civil service siya ba. So kay ang IPs gani sa ilang kuan laro ng lahi nagan gyapon nila. So maybe we can suggestion lang na. Depende na sa committee.
Pwede na to mabalik gamay dito sa start. Sa kagamay. Kung sa saka na.
Wa na makatumurag dagan-dagan pa, ma'am. Napay mo dagan? Ang vice chair lang sa Civil Service Committee daw kung umudagan. Ma'am Bing. Ikaw, vice. Binong lang. Okay, while scroll pa sa ano, ma'am, katong mga coordinators, ma'am, for example, na board members na mo-appeal sa mga executive nga mga, sa itong executive games, sa itong mga, ahaman, kinsa may doulon, ma'am. Sa pickleball, na kami, board member for teach, nagplano may nga mga pilmi. Papasingot, kinsa man ang doulon, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, the coordinator for the pickleball is Mr. Rodney Sarelia.
Okay. Sir Rodney Sarelia. And the rest of the games, ma'am, na mo list sa coordinators na pwede ano?
Yes, sir, we have.
Sige. Siguro, ma'am, ayun lang mi sa among offices, ma'am, para sa among reference code, ha? Sige. Thank you, ma'am, ayun lang.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Ma'am, regarding this compulsory contribution of 10 pesos, no? No, this is very small amount. Pero katong hatagan og upat lang kabuok, mas maayo siguro kung madagan na to. Anyway, ginagmay, matagan na to tanan tong nanginahanglan. No. If you total it, how many employees do we have? Diba? And then only 4 lang ang beneficiaries. Telig ato pang mas madaghan. Or kung pwede, katong nanginahanglan doon nga, kung tanan, matagan na to. Not necessarily, importante lang, nasa rin madawat siguro.
Minimum raman po, Mr. Chair. Kung naiganahan mo, do it 1,000, mas maayo.
Yeah lang.
So we have 4,000 employees.
As of June 30, Mr. Chair, we have 5,200 employees.
Times
Yes.
10. So that is 50. And then, ang makadawat lang is only 4.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, okay. Kung napay tingalig, isa't only 4 na nanginahanglan, mas maayo siguro nga matagan na to sa gamay, at least tanan sila matagan. Para walay mahay. That's a suggestion, no?
Mr. Chair, the amount of 10 pesos is just the minimum as we suggested,
Yeah,
but
okay.
we encourage if that is because of that cost, we encourage din po sa kuan makahatag og dagko. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, if you're talking about only for butang nato nga who really need cash, no? Na hospital ba sila or undergoing maintenance or what? Talig na pa uban nga employees nga nanginahanglan pod. Ato na po siguro ang apilon po siguro sila.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Anyway, may bawaan mo sa nato na akong kinsa.
We'll consider that, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yes, Board Member Garcia.
Yeah, Mr. I would like to ask if this is the first time that we will be doing this, na contribution to 10 pesos. First time ni siya.
Mr. Chair, this is the second time. Last year, our beneficiary was a school.
Okay.
Yes, in Lagitas, I think. I forget the somewhere in, but before Valencia. Yes,
So,
we have, and then we were able. We did not actually, in full honesty, we did not get the total amount that was 48,000 last year. Kay naay uban empleyado, wala sila naghatag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pero
So maybe this time,
it says compulsory, eh?
yeah.
so Mr. Chair, this is, I would understand, the social side of the event.
Yeah,
Meaning
of
to
the
say,
fun run.
as part of the Civil Service Month celebration, we will be picking certain beneficiaries, and during this time we contribute 10 pesos. So right now ang napilian kadtong naay mga sakit na gipang hambin nga balatian. So who decides who will be the beneficiaries?
Mr. Chair, the decision will be coming from the teams. The teams are going to identify kung kinsa ang tagaan.
What I don't mean that, Madam Chair, Mr. Chair.
Sorry.
Who decides that last year schools ta? Karon nga year mga pasyente ta. Sunod nga year mga priso ta, mga peniriso, di ta mga priso ta, mga priso. So who decides that?
Mr. Chair, the activities were presented to the events committee, and then during that meeting, this suggestion came out.
So in short, the events committee is the one that decides what partner or beneficiary who will be targeted for that particular year. So inananday siya, no? So it is, I understand, will not be a fixed beneficiary kay mag-usab-usab man. This year, patients, no? Mga empleyado lang sa kwan?
Employees from
Employees,
the
Mr.
government
PGB.
who are having some problem medically. And so inana na lang. So I am made to understand nga dili siya fixed.
Fixed, yes.
Maglain-lain ang beneficiary. Okay, sige. Thank you, Madam Mr. Chair.
in our part, siguro ma'am, among isurihan unya, kay for sure, mas dako ang among ihatag kaysa 10 pesos.
Thank
Kay
you, Mr.
very
Chair.
minimal jud kayo ang 10 pesos for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Acting na ko. Thank you so much. Any more queries from our...
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Yeah,
Attorney.
Mr. Chair. We noticed that there is no more culmination night. Am I right, ma'am? We are interested to know what made you decide that there is no more culmination night for the civil service month.
Yes, Mr. Chair, there is no more culmination night because as observed and there was a negative feedback last year. And the second thing is we are, ang atong venue karon is dito sa Lagitas, and if we cannot control drinking during the evening, it may result to any untoward incident. So, mao lang sad pod ang reason nga wala tay evening culmination on the 30th.
So anyway, there's a budol fight man.
Budol fight
Mao na
na
lang na
siya,
siya
Mr. Chair.
instead
Yes,
of
Mr.
katong sa
Chair.
gabi.
And then we will also have, we will invite the provincial band during that time. So a get together is also possible.
So, what if na magdala og drinks? Kay, kay after lunch for sure, namo jay uhawon ana ma'am. O then kana gikan sa dula, gipanguhaw ang mga camel.
The possibility, Mr. Chair, of totally drunk is
Ayan.
not possible kay hapon man
sayo
sad
man.
good sad siya. Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
board
Chair.
member Bobby J. Dalayan.
Okay, ma'am. If wala nang atong culmination night, kaya because dito taga-held ang atong modula sa sports complex, what if diha gyapon sa ang atong culmination night, diha gyapon sa folk arts? Anyway, kanang negative nga mga feedback before, that is a very normal, di ba? Murag yana, kaya namagi yana. Pero ato na lang i-control nga dili lang magdalag ilim nun para may minimize lang po ang atong drinking session dito.
We'll consider that, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Kaya importante ang combination niya, kaya mo man na siya ang mapabibo nga unsa ang effort nimo sa mga padula, dito man na makita, dito man makita kinsa ng daog. Di ba, kinsa champion. So it is very important na ay awarding ceremony.
Yeah. Pero try to consider the financial aspect kay that will be an additional burden sa inyo, ma'am. Di ba? Kay na-budget na ba ya? Nanay lunch and then another celebration pagkapot sa gabi dito, murag mabugat na. Anyway, ma'am, napamay time, so inyo pa
We'll
naman
consider
studyohan.
that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you, board member Bobby J. Dalayan. Thank you.
Mr. Presiding Officer, alam ko gamay nga question. Abot, sakto ba akong pagbasa? Wala na table tennis, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ibalik daw sa sports sa tong akin eh.
Pickleball. Lagi kay kuan na po diba, ako lang nang ipaabot since na naman ta din mga concern sa uban nga employees nato nga gadula po og table tennis. So basi itay dog check ma'am kay basi dagan-dagan po sila. May lang po malipay po dato mga table tennis nga players. So basi ma-consider pa ninyo. Anyway, isa ra man ka game to, masingit ato. Gamay ra man ang karon, lamisa ra man sa folk arts ata gadula before.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In a positive view, Mr. Chair, there is a possibility to include the tennis, the table tennis, because just this morning, ang swimming competition gipakancel na pod kay ang tubig, and then ang curing time pod niya dili na maapas.
Gusto pa.
Yeah, so table tennis na lang ipuli sa swimming instead.
Total, gamay ra man kay gasto table tennis. Set up ra gyud sa table sa table.
Yes,
Thank you,
Mr.
ma'am.
Chair.
Thank you sa pag
Yes,
sa
Mr.
consider.
Chair.
Mr. Presiding Officer, if wala na questions from the rest of the board members, siguro pwede na natin may excuse si Ma'am Mayela para kinagandagan para buhaton. Ma'am, thank you kayo sa pag-appreciate.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Mela,
Thank you for the
Thank you, ma'am,
invitation.
for coming over.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon.
And then, Mr. Presiding Officer, we will now proceed to our second item. We also invite Mr. Joel S. Victoria. This is invited by our board member from the 2nd District, Board Member Marlon Brado Dinlayan. May we recognize Board Member Dinlayan, Mr. Presiding Officer?
Board Member Marlon Dinlayan is recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. This is the second questionnaire. We are going to update this August body relative to the installation of closed-circuit television cameras throughout the provincial government compound and areas around the Kamulan Tree Park as part of the provincial government's continuing efforts to provide security to personnel and its constituents. And again, good afternoon to our invited guests, the Information Technology Officer 2 of Provincial Government Office, the Provincial Information and Communications Technology Division, Mr. Joel S. Victoria. Okay, so, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Honorable Presiding Officers, board members, fellow employees, guests, maayong hapon sa tanan.
May hapon.
Nako'y dala nga presentation.
Yeah.
If you will allow me to
Yeah,
present.
please do so, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Honorable Presiding Officer, Honorable members of the 28th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, the Secretary of the Secretary to the Sanggunian, fellow employees, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Joel Victoria, IT02 of the PICTD, under the Office of the Provincial Governor. With regards to the invitation of this August body through Secretary Attorney Magwali and by the authority of the Provincial Administrator, Ma'am Cherry Pipito, I'm here to present an update on the CCTV surveillance system project of the provincial government, covering the Capitol grounds, the Kamulan grounds, and the provincial zoological park. Allow me to begin with the rationale. This project responds to the increasing demand of enhanced public safety, efficient monitoring, and rapid incident response within the provincial government compound. It is part of the provincial government continuing effort to secure its personnel, its constituent, and the thousands of visitors who come to the capital. On ordinary working days, and especially during the large-scale events, such as the Kamulan Festival. When this ground holds some of the largest gatherings in the province, beyond deterrence, the system will support our law. The project has 5 objectives. First, to expand surveillance coverage in critical and high-traffic areas. Second, to enhance real-time monitoring and incident response. Third, to support law enforcement and public safety operations. And fourth, to integrate the new units with our existing system. And fifth, to ensure high quality 8 megapixel recording for accurate identification and evidentiary use. In total, the project will deploy 161 cameras across the Capitol, Kamulan grounds, and 32 at the Provincial Zoo, all at megapixel resolution. Coverage. The coverage spans 12, 13, including the zoo. The Capitol grounds proper, the Kamulan grounds, the view deck, the Capitol stage, the inner circle, that is the Capitol grounds, the forest area, the folk arts area, katong apila tong patuyok, no? Katong circular road, the data center genset area, the motor pool and fuel station, and the new building of Benro and agricultural offices, including the waterworks and the engineers maintenance area, and the provincial zoo. I wish to emphasize, Honorable Chair and honorable members, the camera positions were not arbitrarily assigned. Each location underwent site inspection and field of view analysis. With perspective view generated per camera to minimize blind spots and to maximize the coverage. The complete camera inventory and three-dimensional perspective design are on official record with our office and are available to the body upon request. Briefly, on the system composition, the camera mix is fit to purpose. That's including PTC units. PTC means pan, tilt, and zoom camera for wide area dynamic monitoring, dark fighters camera for low light zones such as the forest areas and pathways, full color 24/7 cameras, the majority equipped with strobe lights and audible warning for active deterrence in high-risk locations, and dome cameras for the zoo. Supporting these are 5 32-channel network video recorders with a total 32.8 terabytes for continuous recording, a video wall of 4 55-inch displays for centralized monitoring, an industrial-grade fiber and power over internet network backbone, and a video management system to license the entire fleet for centralized control, live viewing, and playback. The package includes the complete supply and delivery, installation, and commissioning. On cost, the Capitol and Kamulan grounds component will have a total cost of 5.69 M, and the component B, the provincial zoo, will have 900 plus. with a total cost of 6.55 million. The largest share goes to the cameras and the computer network infrastructure. The two elements that determine both image quality and system reliability. I would note that the network backbone being installed is expansion ready. Future phases can ride on the same fiber infrastructure without rebuilding it. That's the detailed project cost. So upon completion, the provincial government can expect full and enhanced surveillance coverage with reduced blind spots, faster incident detection and response, strengthened security operations, and reliable evidentiary support for investigations. Equally important, honorable members, are the safeguards. The system will operate in compliance with the RA 10173, which is the Data Privacy Act. The defined footage retention periods, restricted access controls, and formal protocols for the release of footage for requesting parties. Deployment is grounded on actual field survey data, and a coordination framework is being established with the provincial CDRR, provincial PDRRMO or the city, and reviewed with the provincial legal office and the provincial engineer's office for shared use arrangement, to be governed by appropriate memoranda and data sharing agreements. In closing, Honorable Presiding Officer, honorable members, the vision is straightforward, secure, efficient, and well-monitored provincial government compound worthy of the people it serves. On behalf of the PICTD and Office of the Provincial Governor, thank you for the opportunity to present this before this August body, this project. The project status, according from the back, it is already for contract signing.
Okay.
This was prepared in 2025 and funded this year. This may be, this will be implemented this third or fourth quarter this year. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Joel. Yes, Board Member Marlon Dilayan.
Thank you once again. Good afternoon, Honorable Presiding Officer, to my distinguished fellow board members, all the staff, our secretariat, and of course our invited guests. Thank you, sir, for the update on the status of the closed circuit television cameras project. This is a vital initiative by our beloved Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque, and we are thankful for taking the action to the resolution number 260-2022 during 27th SPO former board member Lawrence Dinlayan Jr. And to my knowledge, as far as I am aware, our board member Attorney Owen Garcia also passed a resolution gi-extend to kay kang papa dinira mo to sa Capitol Compound ang kang for our gentleman from 4th District, extend ka sa apes kaamulan. And to my knowledge as well, from 1 million nga budget to nga gi-allocate during 27th SP, gidungaga ni Governor og nahimo na og 6 million or 6 million plus, because the grand total is 6.555
Yes.
thousand, sir. And then this year unsam na, sir, implement na siya, mataod na nato na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, before anything else, sir, I have a question. do we have existing closed-circuit television cameras installed already here in the provincial government compound? Aside ani karon nana batadaan unsa nga tuig ba to siya?
Yes, I forgot to mention the existing. We have an existing cameras, a total of 64 or 65 cameras. But most of these cameras are located within the building. At the entrance, exit, lobby of the provincial capital buildings.
Where is the budget source or asa nagi appropriate, sir? Asa mangi kuha na?
From the provincial government general fund through capital outlay.
Capital outlay. Okay, sir. May I clarify my second question? Why is it the implementation and operation of the CCTV system allocation taking longer than expected? I mean, what factors are causing the delay kay during 27 as pira man to na siya? Pwede naman ito ma-advance tong 1 million nga budget?
Yes, actually, I think maybe it's the
Procurement.
budget constraint. Kaning sa pagkuan sa priority of the budget. But then I think when former board member Dinlayan has allocated 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, I think we have the proposal for that, and then I don't know what happened to the project when we have prepared the proposal. Then we have, I think, up to the purchase request.
Yes, sir. Kay isa man po ni naka-persuade karon because of what had happened. One of the incidents again, as far as I can remember, last week of July, itong nahitabo nga incident dinhi. So, more na ako na alarm kay before napag-incident dinhi sa Hall of Justice, sir. Katong di ko ka-remember unsa nga tuig tong nangilog bitaw pistola man dito. Adugay na ba ito ba? Oh. So, my point is, gusto na lang ako ma-intact ang atong mga closed-circuit television. So, I am thankful for the response na agi ka din, sir, para pag maklaro na mo. Dayon, dagan ma di kito kamera ba ang giridi? 161.
Yes, karon tuiga. Yes, sir.
And then, megapixel gina siya.
8 megapixel.
8 megapixels, so kusog kayo. Okay, so...
X-ray.
I see. So as of now, I'm looking forward for it, sir, and thank you for the response and for your presence before this distinguished body.
Actually, in addition, the 8 megapixels, dako po na siya og storage requirement.
Yeah.
So I think ang base sa computation nani kaning bagong cameras 161, we will just have a month or 31 days of storage retention.
Okay.
Sir Joel, just a question.
Yes.
Asa ibutang ang iyang monitoring? Same sa office na po ninyo kung asa itong existing karon?
We have 2 data centers. One is at the Piedmo building, and the other one is the new one at the former hospital, the provincial, national provincial office.
Okay.
Doon na upat ka TV, siguro mahimo na siyang display. Isumpay lang na siya. But ang technical is LED wall.
Yeah.
So that will be the center for monitoring of CCTV.
I remember 455.
Yes.
Murag kulang na.
55 inches.
Yeah, kulang na sa kulang ang upat. Dapat mas dako jud kay knowing 161 cameras ang inyong kay
Yes,
gamiton.
amula na siyang sugdan, then we will try to add na lang kung kulang. Yes.
And make sure na secure jud na siya kay simba ko palayo.
Yes, so even the operator, I think magkuang kita aning sa data privacy. Kay the operator will be the based from Data Privacy Act, mahimo siyang PIC or Personal Information Controller or Processor. So of course, tiligi na siya basta nga ipagawas, no?
Yeah.
Unless dunay mga court order or orders or from the PNP sa mga law enforcement.
That's the only time that we can.
Yes.
So,
Okay, so I guess that's all, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay.
If not by question,
Is there
for
any
me,
more,
I am.
is there any more questions from
I'm
the
done. Thank you.
board members? Anyway. Okay na? Oh. Yeah, board member Attorney Owen.
Dili na ni pangutana. Pasalamat na ni.
Yeah.
Because this project actually na-delay gid ni kaya ako magi-follow up si Gov because dili siya gusto 1 million lang. Kaya gusto niya i-appeal gyud makover ang tanan kay katunga amount nga 1 million will just be basig tamo na do iskina. So mo to nga it took time to raise the money para ani. Actually naana ni siya last year pero pag procurement process sad lagi medyo nagdugay. So I'm happy na it's for contracting na. So anytime now it will be communicated to us para makapirma si Gov with the contractor, the winning bidder. So hopefully kuan man daw naaman toy wa man nimo gipakita pero katong view unsa ni gi-ready sa PICTD kung asa nga view angles ang dapat ibutang ang camera.
Okay.
So they will be coordinating with the supplier para dito i-install ang mga camera at strategic points. So again, thank you very much PICTD, no. Kamo may nag-design ani 8K man gid ang inyong gikuha na good luck sa storage ha.
Yes.
32 tera ba na? 32 tera? Giga.
Each recorder has 8 hard drive
Yes.
at 8 terabytes. So,
So 8
computation
times 8, 64 tera.
Yes, sa 5 ka recorder, we will have 320 terabytes.
Okay, so good luck sa air conditioning system dito sa control room.
Yes. But
Okay.
I have a document here, the field of view analysis per area.
Okay.
I can leave this so for review. So you can suggest kung napabay kulang.
Alright, thank you. Thank you very much. Ibili na lang na, Joel,
Yes.
para may studyhan ni Attorney Magwali.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much once again, Sir Joel, for coming over.
Okay, you are welcome, Mr. Presiding Officer and all the board members.
Thank you once again. Was your floor leader?
Okay.
Mag-
Wala naman siguro, Mr. Presiding Officer. I move for the restoration of our House rules, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Are we not going to have a break?
5 minutes. Mr. Presiding Officer.
2 minutes lang.
2 minutes.
Board member Jomek, nangita sa mo dito sa likod, ha? So there's a motion for recess. Motion approved.
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer, since we have no items under the unfinished business, we will now proceed to the second reading, business of the day. Business for the day, items number 1 to 3. May we now recognize our board member from the 3rd District, Board Member Minerva Casinabe.
Board Member Kasinabi is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. May ngapon sa tanan. Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Poverty Alleviation and Social Reform, to which was referred Ordinance Number 2026-2367 on the 25th regular session approved on July 8, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Livelihood and Employment Assistance Program for Indigent Solo Parents in the Municipality of Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon, and providing funds therefore, have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. The ordinance seeks to establish the livelihood and employment assistance program for the indigent solo parents in the municipality of Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon. It aims to provide sustainable livelihood assistance, skills development, entrepreneurship support, and employment facilitation to qualified indigent solo parents through a coordinated implementation mechanism led by the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Officer, or MSWDO. Pursuant to Section 16 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, every local government unit shall exercise the powers expressly granted, those necessarily implied therefrom, as well as powers necessary, appropriate, or incidental for its efficient and effective governance, and those essential to the promotion of the general welfare. The authorizes local government units to adopt measures that promote social justice, alleviate poverty, enhance employment opportunities, and improve the quality of life of their constituents. Furthermore, Republic Act Number 11861, otherwise known as the Expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act, mandates the state and the local government units to strengthen support mechanism and provide responsive programs and services for qualified solo parents by institutionalizing livelihood, employment, and entrepreneurial assistance at the local level. The ordinance complements and reinforces the objectives of Republic Act Number 11861, consistent with the policies and authority granted under existing laws. Recommendations. The committee hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 2026-2367 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Fortich for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. So recommended for the approval of this committee report, Your Honor.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Another committee report, Your Honor. Committee on Education, to which was referred Ordinance Number 62-2026, Series of 2026, approved on July 7, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing Community Participation, Volunteerism, and Multi-Sectoral Support for Public Basic Education through the Brigada Eskwela Program, providing funds therefore and prescribing guidelines for its implementation, have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The ordinance institutionalizes community participation, volunteerism, and multi-sectoral support for public basic education through the Brigada Eskwela Program in the municipality of Cabanglasan. It establishes the municipality's policy of strengthening partnerships among the local government unit, the Department of Education, barangays, civil society organizations, the private sector, and other stakeholders to support school maintenance, preparedness, and the promotion of safe, clean, and conducive learning environments. Pursuant to Section 16 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, which authorizes the local government units to exercise powers essential to the promotion of the general welfare, including measures that enhance the right of the people to quality education. The municipality may adopt programs that strengthen community participation in support of public basic education. Furthermore, DepEd Order Number 24, Series of 2008, entitled Institutionalization of the Brigada Eskwela Program or the National Schools Maintenance Week, institutionalizes Brigada Eskwela as a regular annual undertaking and directs public schools to organize local maintenance efforts with the participation of local government units, parents, civic organizations, the private sector, and other stakeholders. The ordinance is therefore consistent with the state's policy of promoting collaborative partnerships in improving the learning environment and complements the implementation of the Brigada Eskwela program within the municipality. Recommendations. The committee hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 62-2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. So recommended for the approval of this committee report, Your Honor.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
The last committee report, Your Honor, Committee on Women and Family Relations, to which was referred Ordinance Number 64 of Series of 2026, approved on July 7, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Preparation, Approval, Implementation, Monitoring, and Evaluation of the Annual Work and Financial Plan of the Local Committee Against Trafficking and Violence Against Women and Children, or ILCAT-VAUSI, in the municipality of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon, providing funds therefore and for other purposes. Findings and comments. The committee finds that the ordinance institutionalizes the preparation, approval, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the annual work and financial plan of the Committee Against Trafficking and Violence Against Women and their Children, the municipality of Cabanglasan. Pursuant to Section 16 of Republic Act Number 7160, which authorizes local government units to exercise powers necessary, appropriate, or incidental to their efficient and effective governance and those essential to the promotion of the general welfare. The municipality is empowered to enact measures that promote the welfare and protection of its constituents, including the institutionalization of mechanisms that strengthen local government and public service delivery. Furthermore, Republic Act Number 9208, as amended by Republic Act Number 10364 and 11862, mandates government agencies and local government units to adopt measures and programs for the prevention of trafficking in persons and the protection of victims. The ordinance institutionalizes the preparation, approval, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the annual work and financial plan of the local Committee Against Trafficking and Violence Against Women and their Children, thereby providing a structured framework for the effective planning, coordination, funding, and implementation of the local initiatives against trafficking in persons and in furtherance of the general welfare. The committee hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 64-2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan to enact. So recommended for the approval of this committee report, Your Honor.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Kasanabe.
Mr. Presiding Officer, proceeding to item number 4, may we now recognize board member, ex-officio board member of and ABC President, Federation President, Board Member Godofredo Balansag.
Board Member Godofredo Balansag is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Majority Floor. Item number 4 is a committee report of the Committee on Barangay and Local Government, number 2026-B-052. Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Barangay and Local Government, to which was referred Executive Order number 48, Series of 2026, dated July 15, 2026, from the Office of the Municipal Mayor of Baongon, Bukidnon, entitled, An Order Reconstituting the Municipal Interagency Committee, or MIAC, of the Municipality of Baongon, Bukidnon, and approving for its composition, functions, and other purposes, have considered the same and hereby submits the findings, comments, and recommendation. Findings: the Executive Order seeks to reconstitute the Municipal Interagency Committee, or the MIAC, of the Municipality of Baongon to strengthen interagency coordination and institutionalize a convergence mechanism among national government agencies, the local government unit, civil society organization, and other stakeholders in the planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of social protection and poverty alleviation programs. Thus, it defines the committee's composition, powers, and functions to ensure the effective and efficient delivery of social services to vulnerable sectors of the municipality. Furthermore, the committee finds that the executive order is consistent with Article 2, Section 9 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which mandates the state to promote social justice and improve the quality of life of all Filipinos through adequate social services and poverty reduction initiatives. It also supports the government's policy of promoting collaboration and convergence in implementing social protection programs. Moreover, the measures also reinforce coordination among concerned offices in monitoring and evaluating programs intended to benefit vulnerable sectors of the community. Recommendation: considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends for the approval of Executive Order number 48, Series of 2026, dated July 15, 2026, from the Office of the Municipal Mayor of Bukidnon, of Baongon, Bukidnon, for being proper and in accordance with the law and within the scope of authority of the local chief executive concerned to promulgate. So recommended for approval, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding.
Thank you, Board Member Balansag.
Proceeding to items number 5 to 19, Mr. Presiding Officer, may we now recognize Second District Board Member, Attorney Hollis Monsanto, rather.
Nay, omnibus ani?
Don't worry don't worry na. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Board
Thank
Member
you,
Monsanto is recognized.
Majority Floor Leader. This is a joint committee. This is a committee report on the Committee on Appropriations on the following ordinances. First, under item number 5 is Ordinance number 273, Series of 2025 of the 60th SB, approved on January 6, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Authorizing the Grant of Medical Allowance to Civilian Government Personnel of the Municipality of Lantapan, Bukidnon, pursuant to Executive Order number 64, Series of 2024, dated August 2, 2024, and in accordance with DBM Budget Circular number 2024-6. As to the findings, upon review, the Local Finance Committee recommend its approval subject to the applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws. Thus, the committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance number 273, Series of 2025, the 60th SB, approved on January 6, 2026 26 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon for being proper, in order, and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Second is Ordinance Number 128-2025 of the 16th Sangguniang Bayan, 18th regular session, approved on December 18, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of San Fernando, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Approving and Adopting the Following Policies from the Department of Finance. First, the ILG ARTA DOF Joint Memorandum Circular Number 2021-01, which is an omnibus guidelines on the suspension of LGU imposition and collection of illegal fees and taxes relative to the transport of goods and products. Item B is the DOF Local Finance Circular Number 001-2022, guidelines on the imposition of local business tax, fees, and charges on service contractors. As to the findings, upon review, the Local Finance Committee recommends its approval, subject to the applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws. Thus, the committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 128-2025 of the 60th Sangguniang Bayan, 18th regular session, approved on December 18, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of San Fernando, Bukidnon, for being proper, in order, and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Next is Ordinance Number 136-2025 of the 16th Sangguniang Bayan, 6th Special Session, approved on December 22, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of San Fernando, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Approving and Adopting the Third Consolidated Augmentation of Budget for Calendar Year 2025 of the Local Government Unit of San Fernando, Bukidnon, amounting to 404,000 pesos only. As to the findings, upon review, the Local Finance Committee recommends its approval subject to the applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws. Thus, the committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 128-2025, the 16th Sangguniang Bayan, 18th Special Session, approved on December 18, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of San Fernando, Bukidnon, for being proper, in order, and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
As to item number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 and 16. Okay. This will be subject to an omnibus motion, Mr. Presiding Officer. These are the ordinances which has been referred back to the origin for compliance of some requirements. The referral on these ordinances was made on 2 resolutions previously passed by this August body, Mr. Presiding Officer. So they have already complied. So I will be making an omnibus motion for the approval of the following appropriation ordinance, Mr. Presiding Officer. First is Appropriation Ordinance Number 2025-044, Series of 2025, approved on December 23, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, an ordinance approving the realignment of current appropriation under the MSWD office, particularly as follows: from MSWD non-office, senior citizen, PWD program, maintenance operating expenses, other maintenance and operating expenses, and the amount of 30,500 to augment for appropriation to MSWD non-office, senior citizens / PWD program, maintenance and other operating expenses, and the same amount of 30,500 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance Number 2025-045, Series of 2025, approved on December 23, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Approving the Realignment of Current Appropriations under the Municipal Economic Enterprise Development Office, particularly as follows: from the Municipal Economic Enterprise Development Office, maintenance and operating expenses, fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses, and the amount of 25,000 to augment appropriation for Municipal Economic Enterprise Development Office, maintenance and other operating expenses, other maintenance and operating expenses, and the same amount of 25,000 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance Number 2025-046, Series of 2025, approved on December 23, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Approving the Realignment of Current Appropriations under the Office of the Municipal Treasurer, particularly as follows: From the Office of the Municipal Treasurer, maintenance and other operating expenses, rent expenses, 6,000, traveling expenses, 88,000, for a total of 94,000, to augment appropriations of the same office to internet subscription, 6,000, training expenses, 88,000, the same amount of 94,000 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance number 2025-047, Series of 2025, approved on December 23, 2025, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Bukidnon also, an ordinance approving the realignment of current appropriations under the Office of the Secretary to the Sangguniang Bayan, particularly as follows. From the said office, other maintenance, other supplies and material expenses in the amount of 36,000 pesos, to augment for, also in the same office, for traveling expenses, 10,000, training expenses, 7,000, Office of the Sangguniang Bayan, committee meetings / hearing in the amount of 19,000 pesos for the same amount, total amount of 36,000 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance number 2025-048, Series of 2025, approved on December 23, 2025, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Bukidnon, an ordinance approving the realignment of current appropriations under the Municipal Mayor's Office, particularly as follows: to augment appropriations for priority programs and services. From the Municipal Mayor's Office, insurance expenses, 437,000, fidelity bond expenses, 2,500, hatod serbisyo sa barangay program, drugs and medicines, 37,000 pesos, security services on waterworks, other maintenance operating expenses, 188,000, SPS program, other maintenance operating expenses in the amount of 68,000, support to volunteers in the amount of 450,000, purchase of uniform for regular bantay tanod of 14 barangays, other maintenance operating expenses in the amount of 18,000, support to election expenses, national, local, barangay and SK election, training expenses in the amount of 71,000 pesos, support to road clearing activities maintenance, and other maintenance and operating expenses in the amount of 20,000 pesos, revenue generation program, training expenses of 2,000 pesos, and a total amount of 1,294,000. And this will augment still on the Municipal Mayor's Office to membership dues and contribution to organization, 20,000, other maintenance and operating expenses, job order services, 788,000, other to MMO no support to Bokso Satellite Campus, other maintenance and operating expenses, 130,000. Municipal Treasurer's Office, fuel, oil, lubricant expenses, 15,000 pesos. To the Municipal Environment Natural Resources, fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses, 7,000. Municipal Economic Enterprises Development Office, Municipal, 16,000 pesos, also for fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses. Municipal General Services Office, 5,000. Also for fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses. Municipal Agriculture Office, 11,000. Also for fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses. Municipal Health Office, fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses of 2,000 pesos. And MSWD, what is this? Senior Citizen PWD, other maintenance operating expenses of 300,000 pesos. And the total amount augmented, 1,294,000 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance number 2025-049, Series of 2025, approved on December 23, 2025, the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Approving the Realignment of Current Appropriations under the Municipal Mayor's Office, particularly as follows. From MMO Non-Office, Support to 7 Tribes, IP Activities, 65,000 pesos. MMO Non-Office, Kaamulan Activities, 35,000 pesos. MMO Non-Office, Araw ng Lantapan Celebration Program, 150,000 pesos. The total amount realigned is 250,000 pesos to augment the same office for electricity expenses in the same amount of 250,000 pesos. Next is Ordinance, Appropriation Ordinance number 2025-051, Series of 2025, approved on January 8, 2026 with the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled and Ordinance Authorizing and Approving the Utilization of Funds from Year-End Sports Activities in the amount of 130,000 pesos, an inter-municipality sports activity in the amount of 100,000 pesos to augment appropriation for LBE sports activity in the total amount of 230,000 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance Number 2025-052, Series of 2025, approved on January 8, 2026 with the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Authorizing and Approving the Realignment of Current Appropriations under the Municipal Engineering Office, particularly as follows. Other supplies and material expenses, 23,000. Office supplies, 7,000. Membership dues and contribution to organization, 7,000. Internet subscription, 1,000 pesos for a total of 38,000 pesos to augment for training expenses of the same amount, 38,000 pesos. Next is Appropriation Ordinance Number 2025-053, Series of 2025, approved on December 8, 2026 with the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon. An ordinance authorizing and approving the realignment of current appropriations from the Municipal Mayor's Office, particularly as follows. From the Municipal Mayor's Office, maintenance and other operating expenses, drug and medicine expenses, 44,000. Extraordinary and miscellaneous expenses, 56,000 pesos, a total of 100,000 pesos to augment for MMO non-office support to light a tree program, other maintenance and operating expenses of 100,000 pesos. As mentioned, Mr. Presiding Officer, these appropriation ordinance were previously referred back to the said Sangguniang Bayan for compliance of the same requirements. Now, after they have complied the same, the Local Finance Committee recommend its approval, subject to the budgeting, accounting, and auditing applicable laws. It is further recommended that the term realignment used in the appropriation ordinances, in the above mentioned appropriation ordinances, be replaced with augmentation to conform with the proper budgetary terminology in accordance with Section 336 of the Republic Act 7160. Thus, the committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of those appropriation ordinances approved respectively by the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon for being proper, in order and within the competence of the said Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass, subject to compliance with Section 336 of Republic Act 7160. Omnibus motion for the approval of the same, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's an omnibus motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you. Next is Appropriation Ordinance. Gamay na lang. Appropriation Ordinance Number 226-009, Series of 2026, approved on May 6, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Authorizing the Municipal Mayor, Honorable Ricky James D. Balansag, to augment appropriation, detailed as follows. From MMO non-office, Araw ng Lantapan Celebration, other maintenance and operating expenses in the amount of 1,820,000 to augment appropriations for MMO non-office, purchase of uniforms for barangay volunteers, 280,000, other maintenance and operating expenses. SB Secretary Office, other maintenance and operating expenses, 70,000 pesos. Municipal Tourism Office, maintenance and other operating expenses, 370,000 pesos. MSWDO, maintenance and other operating expenses, donations, 1 million pesos. And MSWD non-office, senior citizen PWD program, 100,000 pesos, for a total of 1,820,000. As to the findings, upon review, the Local Finance Committee recommends its approval, subject to the applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws. Thus, the committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of Appropriation Ordinance Number 226-009, Series of 2026, approved on May 6, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Lantapan, Bukidnon for being proper, in order, and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Last two, Resolution Number 2026-376, dated April 22, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Maramag, Bukidnon, entitled A Resolution Adopting and Approving Supplemental Budget Number 1 of the General Fund for Fiscal Year 2026 of this municipality and the amount of 55,895,235 pesos and 7 centavos. Upon review, the Local Finance Committee recommends its approval, subject to the applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws. Thus, the committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of Resolution Number 2026-376, dated April 22, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Maramag, Bukidnon for being proper, in order, and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Last is Ordinance Number 38-2026, 10th SP, 31st Regular Session, approved on March 26, 2026 of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Valencia City, Bukidnon, entitled an ordinance approving and adopting supplemental budget 2 of the General Fund calendar year 2026 of the City Government of Valencia, covering the amount of 59,972,984 pesos and 66 centavos. As to the findings, upon review, the Local Finance Committee reiterates that any findings and observation arising from the review shall be formally documented in the technical review analysis sheet only after the LGU has submitted all required statutory and administrative documents as indicated in the revised local budget review form number 18. These are the checklist on documentary and signature requirements of the supplemental budget as attached to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Resolution number 25-2028 dated August 19, 2025, necessary for the review of its supplemental budget. However, as of this date, the LGU Valencia has not yet submitted the supplemental budget number 2 of the General Fund calendar year 2026 for technical review. Thus, the committee after review hereby recommend Ordinance number 38-2026 of the 10th SP 31st regular session approved on March 26, 2026 with the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Valencia City, Bukidnon be referred back to its origins for compliance with the aforementioned findings. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion to refer back to ordinance. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you very much, Mr. Presiding
Thank you, Attorney Board Member Monsanto. Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer. Proceeding now to items number 20 and 21. This will be reported by this representation. Item number 20 is a committee report on the Committee on Health, to which is referred ordinance number 079-2026, 16th SB, enacted on June 30, 2026, of the Sangguniang Bayan of Don Carlos, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Mobile Care and Wellness Program, providing home-based physical therapy, hygiene assistance, and local monitoring for senior citizens and persons with disabilities with limited mobility and appropriating funds thereof. Mr. Presiding Officer, the committee recognizes that the ordinance is anchored in Article 13, Section 11 and 13 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which mandate the state to adopt an integrated and comprehensive approach to health development and establish a special agency for persons with disabilities for their rehabilitation, self-development, and integration into the mainstream of society. The committee also found that the ordinance conforms to Republic Act number 9994, otherwise known as the Expanded Senior Citizens Act of 2010, recognizes the duty of the government to improve the quality of life of senior citizens through health, rehabilitation, social protection, and community-based support programs. Further, Republic Act number 10754, also known as the Magna Carta for Persons with Disability, guarantees the rights of persons with disabilities to accessible health services, rehabilitation, mobility support, social participation, and community-based rehabilitation programs. Mr. Presiding Officer, the committee after review hereby recommend for the approval of ordinance number 079-2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Carlos, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So moving, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item number 21 from the committee is a committee report on the Committee on Health, to which is referred ordinance number 49-2026, approved on July 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Valencia City, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing a Sewerage Treatment and Septage Management System in the City of Valencia and prescribing penalties for the violations thereof. The committee recognizes that the ordinance is anchored on Republic Act number 9275, otherwise known as the Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004, which mandates the state to pursue a comprehensive water quality management program, protect the country's water bodies from pollution, and require local government units to participate in sewerage and septage management consistent with national standards. Likewise, Section 8 of the same Act mandates local government units in coordination with concerned agencies and water service providers to prepare and implement sewerage and septage management programs within their respective jurisdictions. The committee, after review, hereby recommend for the approval of ordinance number 49-2026 from the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Valencia City, Bukidnon for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Panlungsod concerned to pass. So moving, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Moving to item number 22, Mr. Presiding Officer, may we now recognize our provincial IPMR, Board Member Dato Renato Sumbungan.
Board Member Dato Sumbungan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Mr. Handsome Majority Floor Leader. A pleasant afternoon to this distinguished August body.
What about ani?
May hapon alang kinoy. Item number 22, the Committee on Indigenous Cultural Communities, Indigenous Peoples, which was referred ordinance number 054, 16 Sangguniang Bayan, series of 2026, approved on July 20, 2026, Sangguniang Bayan of Kitaw-Taw, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Pahalad as Community Peacekeeper within the ancestral domain of the Matiksalog, Manubo, Indigenous Cultural Communities, Indigenous Peoples, and for other purposes. Have considered the same, they hereby submit their comments, findings, and recommendation. Comments and findings. The ordinance seeks to establish the Pahalad as the recognized community peacekeeper within ancestral domain of Patiksalog, Manubo, Indigenous Cultural Communities, Indigenous Peoples in the municipality of Kitaw-Taw. It institutionalizes the role and maintain peace and order, resolving conflict through customary laws, protecting ancestral domain, and strengthening the indigenous political structure, IPS. The committee found that the ordinance is consistent with the Section 16, Republic Act Number 7160, Local Government Code of 1991, which empowered local government unit to enact measures promoting the general welfare, peace, and public order, like it is harmony with the provision of Republic Act Number 8371 in Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997, particularly on the recognition of indigenous political structure, customary laws, self-governance, and protection of ancestral domain. The committee further finds that the ordinance strengthens indigenous governance while promoting coordination between the local government unit, the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, NCIP, and the indigenous cultural communities, is preserving the traditional peacekeeping practices consistent with the existing laws. The recommendation, Mr. Chair, the committee, after due deliberation and careful study, hereby recommend the approval of ordinance number 054, 16, Sangguniang Bayan series of 2026, approved on July 20, 2026, the Sangguniang Bayan of Kitaw-Taw, Bukidnon, for being proper in order and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. So recommend for approval of my committee's report.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Handsome. Board Member Sumbungan.
Mr. Presiding Officer, moving on to items number 23 to 26, may we now recognize our 4th District Board Member, Attorney Oliver Owen Baba Garcia.
Board Member Handsome Garcia is recognized.
Thank you very much, handsome Presiding Officer. Mutual Admiration Club. Item number 23 is a joint committee report of the Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights and on Ways and Means and Trade and Industry. This is committee report number L-363 and S-051. Mr. Chairman, the Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights and Ways and Means, to which was referred a letter dated May 18, 2026, of Provincial Governor Rogelio Nil Piroque requesting this August body to consider the enactment of another penalty condonation ordinance under the same terms and conditions provided in the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Ordinance Number 2025-111R 27 SP, which allowed qualified housing beneficiaries to settle their arrears without penalties until December 2025 to be effective for a period of 1 full year. This extension will provide the beneficiaries sufficient time to fully settle their arrears, have considered the same, and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. During the deliberation, the committees were informed that the implementation of the previous penalty condonation ordinance resulted in collections amounting to approximately 13.6 million, exceeding the projected collection of 11.5 million. notwithstanding that the ordinance remained effective for only about 6 months. It was likewise clarified that the condonation granted under the ordinance was limited solely to accumulated penalties and did not extend to the principal obligation or the corresponding interest. The committees further discussed the qualifications of the beneficiaries under Public Act 7279, the restrictions on the transfer of awarded housing units under the contract to sell, and the necessity of reinforcing compliance with the payment obligations of beneficiaries. The committees were likewise informed by Ms. Arsua Saturnina that out of approximately 5,000 housing beneficiaries, around 1,000 accounts remain subject to collection. The average monthly amortization collectible is estimated at 6.8 million pesos exclusive of penalties, while total accumulated arrears amount to approximately 26 million pesos. Of these delinquent accounts, a substantial number were identified as problematic due to the prolonged payment defaults and the accumulation of penalties. In the course of the deliberation, the committees also considered policy measures aimed at improving collection efficiency. The chair proposed that future housing ordinances explore the adoption of mandatory payroll deductions where legally permissible for qualified government employees to minimize payment defaults. The chair likewise directed the submission of statistical data identifying employed housing beneficiaries with outstanding arrears to determine the feasibility and justification of such policy. Mr. Leo Agustus G. Barroso further informed the committee that the Provincial Treasurer's Office has expanded its collection mechanism through the adoption of electronic payment facilities, including GCash, to provide beneficiaries with more accessible and convenient payment options and thereby encourage the regular payment of amortization obligations. While acknowledging these initiatives, the chair emphasized the need to institutionalize stronger collection strategies through ICT-enabled monitoring, mandatory payroll deductions where applicable, and the regular issuance of billing statements and collection notices. The committees were further informed that the Housing Division has commenced the implementation of the e-track program to strengthen the monitoring and collection of housing accounts. The chair, however, emphasized the need to continuously enhance the system to improve collection efficiency, prevent recurring delinquent accounts, and reduce the need for future penalty condonation ordinances. The chair likewise expressed concern that the repeated enactment of condonation measures may inadvertently encourage beneficiaries to delay payment in anticipation of a similar relief. Lastly, the chair sought clarification on the proposed one-year availment period only for the condonation. The Housing Division explained that the period is intended to provide qualified beneficiaries with a final opportunity to settle their arrears, after which the provincial government may enforce the appropriate contractual and legal remedies against those who remain in default. Recommendation: the committees, after careful deliberation, hereby recommend the approval of the request of the Provincial Governor, Rogelio Nil Piroque, for the enactment of another penalty condonation ordinance under the same terms and conditions provided in Sangguniang Panlalawigan Ordinance Number 2025-111R, 27th SP, allowing qualified housing beneficiaries to settle their arrears without penalties for a period of 1 year. So recommended, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
As an offshoot, Mr. Chair, may I now introduce the draft ordinance titled, An Ordinance Granting the Condonation of Accumulated Penalties to Qualified Housing Beneficiaries of the Provincial Housing and Resettlement Subdivision Projects implemented by the Provincial Government of Bukidnon for calendar year 2026. Explanatory note. In the interest of social justice, equitable development, and humane housing policy implementation, the Provincial Government of Bukidnon has undertaken numerous housing and resettlement subdivision projects over the years. These programs have been established with the aim of providing secure, affordable, and decent housing to low-income families, informal settlers, and individuals displaced by various government infrastructure projects and natural calamities. However, despite the noble objectives underpinning these housing initiatives, a significant number of beneficiaries have encountered financial hardships that impeded their ability to pay amortizations on time. Over time, their unpaid dues accumulated penalties and surcharges, significantly increasing the financial burden on already disadvantaged households. In light of this, the provincial government has proposed and enacted an ordinance that grants condonation of accumulated penalties to beneficiaries residing in these provincial housing and resettlement subdivision projects. The Real Estate and Housing Development Division is directed to continuously enhance its monitoring system through the e-track program and the ICT-enabled collection and monitoring mechanism, and the Provincial Treasurer's Office maximize available electronic payment facilities such as GCash, regularly issue billing statements and collection notices, and strengthen account monitoring to improve collection efficiency and reduce further delinquencies. Now, therefore, on motion of yours truly and unanimously seconded by all Sangguniang Panlalawigan members present in session assembled, be it ordained by this 28th Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Province of Bukidnon, in the year this 2026, Section 1, short title, this ordinance shall be known as the Housing and Resettlement Beneficiaries Accommodated Penalty Condonation Program for calendar year 2026. Section 2, Declaration of Policy. The provincial government of Bukidnon recognizes its crucial role in safeguarding the welfare of its constituents, hereby enacts this ordinance to grant relief to housing beneficiaries weighed down by accumulated penalties on amortization payments. This measure seeks to uphold social equity and promote economic stability within the province. Through the grant of condonation, the provincial government aims to foster sustainable community development and empower residents towards responsible home ownership. Actually, Mr. Chair, gikopya na nato ni atong previous ordinance. So I will just go to the directly to the when it will be implemented. So our target for this implementation is actually August 30 this year, kung makaya, until August 30 next year, so that we will be able to collect the entire amount of unsani. So with that, I will move for the approval of the said ordinance, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item number 24. It's a joint committee report of the Committee on Laws, Justice and Human Rights and Appropriation. This is committee report number L-364 and F-346. The committees to which was referred, letter dated June 2, 2026 with attachment of Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil Piroque, requesting this August body to allow the PGB to obtain a loan from Land Bank to finance the proposed LGU counterpart of PRDP projects under the Department of Agriculture for farm-to-market roads, 30.01814 kilometers in the municipalities of Kalilangan, Lantapan, and Malitbog. Further requesting the provincial government to represent the PGB in the negotiation, execution, and implementation of all loan agreements, applications, certifications, undertakings, and other documents necessary and incidental thereto. Findings. The committee sought clarification on the provincial government's proposed counterpart financing for the Philippine Rural Development Project, particularly regarding the reported reduction of the required local government unit counterpart from 30% to 20%. Ms. Emma Ravilo, representing Provincial Agriculture Office, confirmed that the reduction had been communicated approximately 2 months earlier. Engineer Jeshel B. Mangubat, PPDO Coordinator, and Ms. Mayfe P. Alerta, Provincial Budget Officer, clarified that while the provincial government's actual counterpart is now estimated at approximately 168 million pesos, representing 20% of the project cost, the authority being sought from the Sangguniang Panlalawigan remains based on the previously approved 30% ceiling to provide sufficient borrowing authority with actual loan drawdowns to depend on the final funding requirement during project implementation. The committee likewise inquired into the utilization of the counterpart funds. Engineer Magubat explained that the approved PRDP funding structure consists of 70% from the PRDP, 20% from the provincial government, and 10% from the national government. Ms. Alerta further clarified that the loan proceeds would be released through a drawdown mechanism based on actual project accomplishments and progress billing. Thus, the provincial government would incur interest only on the amounts actually drawn and utilized. Uy, dito lang ha, kay gipaak man. Alright, sige. The chair expressed concern that the immediate release of the entire loan amount could unnecessarily expose the provincial government to interest obligations. Ms. Alerta assured the committee that the Land Bank financing facility operates on a drawdown basis, thereby limiting interest charges to the amounts actually availed of. The chair therefore manifested his support for the proposed borrowing, emphasizing that prudent financing would facilitate the timely implementation of priority infrastructure projects, particularly farm-to-market roads, while mitigating the effects of escalating construction costs. Attorney Apollo A. Magwali, Secretary to Sangguniang Panlalawigan, sought clarification on the status of the road right-of-way requirements for the proposed PRDP projects. Engineer Manggubat explained that compliance with right-of-way requirements forms part of the PRDP project appraisal review, while Ms. Ravelo added that the deeds of donation, waivers of rights, and other documentary requirements from affected landowners are mandatory prior to project approval. On the budgetary requirements, Ms. Alerta clarified that the proposed resolution merely authorizes the provincial governor to negotiate and obtain the loan, and that the provincial government's counterpart funding must still be appropriated through Supplemental Budget Number 2 in accordance with applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws before any funds may be disbursed. Finally, the chair noted that the provided pro forma resolution as part of the loan requirements and directed that it be adopted as basis of the resolution to be prepared by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan subject to such modifications as may be necessary. Recommendation. The committees, after careful review, hereby recommend the adoption and approval of the request of Provincial Governor Rogelio Nil P. Roque, authorizing the provincial government of Bukidnon to obtain a loan from the Land Bank of the Philippines to finance the local government unit counterpart for the Philippine Rural Development Project, farm-to-market road projects covering a total length of 30.01814 kilometers in the municipalities of Kalilangan, Lantapan, and Malitbog. So recommended, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
May I just read the title of the resolution? A resolution authorizing the proposed borrowing of the provincial government of Bukidnon in the amount of 250,590,249 pesos and 99 centavos only to finance the LGU counterpart of PRDP projects under the Department of Agriculture for farm-to-market roads. So moving for the approval of the said resolution, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item number 25 is Committee Report of the Committee on Law, Justice, and Human Rights, Report number 365. The Committee on Laws, to which was referred a letter dated May 4, 2026 with attachment of Provincial Governor Rogelio P. Roque requesting this august body for an authority to enter into a tripartite memorandum of agreement for and behalf of the Provincial Government of Bukidnon with HCMI Logistics Service and Maya Midwaste Corporation. This pertains to the proper handling and the safe and secure transport of hazardous and infectious waste generated from the 7 Bukidnon Provincial Hospitals and the Bukidnon Provincial Medical Center. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The committee deliberated on the proposed memorandum of agreement governing the transportation and treatment of infectious healthcare waste generated by the provincial hospitals. It found that the draft MOA requires amendment to expressly provide that its coverage includes all infectious waste not limited to COVID-19 related waste. The committee likewise observed the need to include a whereas clause stating that the procurement was conducted through the Bids and Awards Committee to establish the legal basis for the engagement of the service providers. The committee also discussed the contract price of 36 pesos per kilogram and noted that the agreement does not provide for a fixed volume of waste but merely establishes a unit price, making the total contract cost dependent upon the actual quantity of infectious healthcare waste generated by the provincial hospitals during the contract period. Ms. Kagatin from PIDMO explained that the provincial government, through the pollution control officers of the respective hospital, secures the necessary authority from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources regarding the allowable hauling capacity of transport vehicles and coordinate with the DNR in obtaining permit for the transport of infectious waste across provincial boundaries. She further informed that the committee that the 8 provincial hospitals generate an average of approximately 1,524 kilograms of infectious healthcare waste per month. The committee likewise discussed the collection and treatment process for infectious healthcare waste. Concerns were raised by BM Palmada regarding the previous deficiencies in waste collection, prompting the committee to emphasize the need for effective monitoring and accountability to ensure proper implementation of the agreement. It was explained that the present arrangement designates a single transporter and an accredited treatment, storage, and disposal facility to ensure that infectious healthcare waste is treated and disposed of in accordance with DNR regulations. Ms. Kagaten clarified that the accredited TSD facility undertakes the proper treatment and sanitary disposal of the waste pursuant to the permits issued by the DNR. Dr. Edmundo Garcia of BPH Maramag emphasized the recognized risk associated with improper infectious healthcare waste disposal practices reported in other jurisdictions and underscored the importance of strict compliance with environmental regulations. He likewise stressed the need for the province to establish its own treatment facility as a long-term solution. In response, the chair assured the committee that the proposal has already been considered for future funding, subject to the identification of a suitable site and the procurement of the necessary environmental permits. Finally, the committee noted inconsistencies in the draft MOA relating to the contractor's information and the designated treatment facility. The committee directed PIDMO in coordination with the Provincial Legal Office to revise the MOA to ensure consistency with procurement documents, DNR permits, company profile, and the obligation of the contracting parties. The chair likewise emphasized the importance of ensuring that all documents submitted to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan are complete, accurate, and properly verified prior to transmittal for legislative action. Recommendation. The committee, after careful review, hereby recommends the adoption and approval for an authority to enter into a tripartite memorandum of agreement for in behalf of the provincial government of Bukidnon with HCMI Logistics Service and Maya Midways Corporation, subject to the incorporation of the amendments and corrections recommended by the committee. Moving for the approval of said committee report, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved. Yes, proceed.
Yeah, I'll just read the title. Resolution authorizing Provincial Governor Rogelio Neal Piroque to enter into a tripartite memorandum of agreement with HCMI Logistics Service and Maya Midways Corporation for the transportation, treatment, and disposal of hazardous and infectious healthcare waste generated by the 7 Bukidnon Provincial Hospitals and the Bukidnon Provincial Medical Center. So moving for the approval of the said resolution, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item 26 is committee report number L-366 of the Committee on Laws, Justice, and Human Rights, to which was referred a letter dated June 2, 2026 of the Provincial Governor, Rogelio Neal Piroque, requesting for an authority to enter into a data sharing agreement by and between the Provincial Government of Bukidnon and the Philippine Statistics Authority, where this august body has previously granted SP Resolution number 2025-6074, 27th SP, dated June 10, 2025, authorizing the execution of the original data sharing agreement between the parties. However, due to substantial changes and modifications introduced in the revised agreement, there is a need to secure a new authority covering the amended terms and conditions of the data sharing agreement. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The committee found that the revised data sharing agreement between the provincial government of Bukidnon and the Philippine Statistics Authority requires a new authority from the Sangguniang Panlalawigan as it supersedes the previously authorized agreement under SP Resolution number 2025-6074-27 SP. The PSA clarified that the revised DSA adopts the standardized 2024 template with amendments consisting primarily of updated terminology, revised section numbering, and refinements to align the agreement with current legal, operational, data privacy, and information security requirements without introducing any new substantive provisions. The committee further found that the Community-Based Monitoring System, CBMS, implemented by the Philippine Statistics Authority pursuant to Republic Act 11315 serves as a vital tool for evidence-based planning, policy formulation, and the identification of beneficiaries for government programs. It was noted that only 7 of 22 local government units in Bukidnon participated in the 2022 CBMS implementation due primarily to budgetary constraints, while 15 local government units have already manifested their intention to participate in the next implementation scheduled for 2027. The committee likewise found that the Provincial Planning and Development Office has established the necessary server for the secure receipt, storage, and management of CBMS data in accordance with the data sharing agreement. It was further noted that the estimated cost of implementing the CBMS in a city or similarly large local government unit ranges from approximately 8 million pesos to 9 million pesos depending on its size and coverage. The chair further sought clarification on the improvements and practical benefits derived from the updated CBMS data. In response, Ms. Non explained that the updated database enhances the accuracy of government planning and policy formulation, particularly in prioritization of interventions relating to electrification, water supply, and other essential public services. The chair proposed that the provincial government undertake the centralized procurement of tablets for use by the municipalities and the component city to lessen the financial burden on participating local government units. The PSA expressed concurrence with the proposal, emphasizing that centralized procurement would enhance efficiency and promote uniformity and consistency in data collection. Under the proposed arrangement, the PSA shall continue to provide technical assistance while participating local government units shall remain responsible for the maintenance and repair of the equipment as may be necessary. Recommendation. The committee, after careful deliberation, hereby recommends the adoption and approval of the request for authority for the provincial governor to execute for and behalf of the provincial government of Bukidnon the revised data sharing agreement with the Philippine Statistics Authority. So moving for the approval of the said committee report, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Finally, may I pass the resolution authorizing provincial governor for and behalf of the provincial government of Bukidnon to enter into and execute the revised data sharing agreement with the Philippine Statistics Authority PSA for the 2024 community-based monitoring system. 2024 Community-Based Monitoring System CBMS data. So moving for the approval of the said resolution, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Garcia.
Mr. Presiding Officer, moving to item number 27. This will be reported by our board member from the 2nd District, Board Member Bobby J. Dinlayan.
Board Member Bobby J. Dinlayan is recognized.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Committee report of the Committee on Labor and Manpower Development under the chairmanship of our temporary presiding officer, the good and handsome Board Member Jong Alvarez. Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Labor and Manpower Development, to which was referred Ordinance Number 075-2026 of the 16th SB enacted on March 3, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Don Carlos, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Requiring the Issuance of Working Permits to Individuals Seeking Employment within the Municipality of Don Carlos, Bukidnon, only when required by their employers, providing guidelines, fees, and penalties therefore. Findings, comments? The municipal government of Don Carlos recognizes the need to establish a clear and uniform policy governing the issuance of working permits to individuals seeking employment within the municipality. The ordinance provides guidelines for the application and issuance of working permits and prescribe reasonable fees and penalties to ensure proper implementation. Requiring working permit only when it is specifically required by an employer helps prevent unnecessary expenses and inconvenience to job applicants while ensuring compliance with legitimate employment requirements. The committee finds that the measure aims to regulate the issuance of working permits and establish clear procedures for applicants, employers, and the municipal government. However, the committee likewise finds that the several provisions require further review and refinement to ensure that the ordinance is consistent with existing national laws and policies governing employment, labor standards, and protection of job seekers. Furthermore, the ordinance failed to attach an affidavit of publication in the absence of proof that the publication requirement has been complied with. The committee cannot fully determine compliance with the prescribed legal and procedural requirements. Accordingly, the committee recommends that the affidavit of publication be submitted before further action on the ordinance. Recommendation: the committee, after review, respectfully recommends that the ordinance number 075-2026 of the 16th SB enacted March 3, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Don Carlos, Bukidnon be referred back to the proponent and the concerned municipal offices are further study, consultation, and revision, and this will allow the incorporation of necessary amendments and ensure that the ordinance is practical and responsive to the needs of both employers and job seekers before approval. So recommended, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pinakagwapo nga board member.
Mr. Presiding Officer, proceeding to items number 28 to 31, may we now recognize our ABC Federation President, ex-officio board member, Godofredo Balansag.
Board member Godofredo Balansag is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Item number 28 to 31 are all water applicants for posting in our bulletin board. Mr. Presiding Officer, upon careful review and verification of the comments, finds that the four applicants of this under this committee report, the application complies with the requirements set forth under the provisions of the Water Code of the Philippines and related laws governing the appropriation, utilization, and protection of water resources. With this, Mr. Presiding Officer, I move for the omnibus approval and adoption of the four committee reports of this Committee of Environmental Protection and Climate Disaster and Climate Change and Disaster under the chairmanship of Honorable Board Member Joseph Palmada, who is now on leave, including the recommendation and proposed actions contained therein as presented and deliberated upon by this committee. Item number 28, Mr. Presiding Officer, is a committee report number 2026-088 of the 20th SB filed by North Kitanglad Agricultural Company Incorporated of Kalukmanan, Manolo Portich, with an application number X-BOC-2026-05-093. Then item number 29 is a committee report number 2026-N-089 filed by East Bit Corporation of Barangay Dahilayan, Manolo Portich, Bukidnon, with an application number X-BOC-2026-05-061. And item number 30, Mr. Presiding Officer, is a committee report number 2026-N-090 filed by Mr. Apina Poultry Farm o Barangay Lingion o Manolo Portich, Bukidnon, with an application number X-BOK-02026-05-142 and 141. And last item is the item number 31 of the committee report number 2026-091 filed by Farm Chris Ventures Incorporated 1 o Barangay Patpat, Malaybalay City with an application number X-BOK-2026-05-142 and 143. I further move that the four committee reports be considered, approved, and adopted in omnibus, subject to the condition that upon the issuance of certification of posting, the applicants shall submit all required supporting documents of this in the office of the Sangguniang Secretary. So I move, Mr. Presiding Officer, in an omnibus motion.
There's an omnibus motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Board Member Godofredo Baransag. Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer. Moving on to item number 32. May we now recognize our board member from the 2nd District, Board Member Marlon Brando Dinlayan.
Board Member Marlon Dinlayan is recognized.
Thank you, and good afternoon once again to our honorable, handsome presiding officer. And to all my fellow handsome, distinguished board members. I have only one item, number 32, committee report of the Committee on Ways and Means and Trade and Industry, to which was referred ordinance number 2026-2368, 25th regular session approved on July 9, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Fortich Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Establishing, Prescribing, and Regulating the Monthly Rental Rates for the Use and Occupancy of Spaces within the Premises of the Manolo Fortich Tourist Rest Area, providing guidelines for its implementation and for other purposes, have been considered the same and hereby submit its findings, comments, and recommendations. Findings. The ordinance aims to institutionalize the regulation of the monthly rental rates for the use and tenancy of spaces within the property of the tourist rest area in the municipality of Manolo Fortich, this province. The committee finds that the measure is consistent with Section 16 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, which empowers local government units to enact measures necessary to promote the general welfare, including the promotion of public safety and consumer protection. Furthermore, Section 147 and 148 of the same code authorizes the municipality to impose and collect such reasonable fees and charges on business and occupation commensurate with the cost of inspection calibration and other regulatory charges to support the operational expenses of the program. Establishing, prescribing, and regulating monthly rental rates ensures legal compliance, upholds fairness and transparency, generates funds for sustainable upkeep, maintains orderly occupancy, and supports quality tourism services that benefit the people of Manolo Fortich and all travelers. Furthermore, the effective operation and sustenance of the Manolo Fortich tourist rest area necessitate fund facility management, utilities, sanitation, maintenance, security, administrative requirements, and necessary improvements. In order to maintain acceptable tourism standard, thus, it is very timely to pass this legislative measure to ensure that clear guidelines govern occupancy rates and operations for the orderly management of the facility. Recommendation. Considering the foregoing, the committee hereby recommends the approval of ordinance number 2026-2368, 25th regular session, approved on July 9, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Manolo Fortich Bukidnon, for being in accordance with law and within the scope of authority of the Sangguniang concerned to pass. Recommended, Honorable Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Board Member Marlon Dinlayan.
Mr. Presiding Officer, moving on to items number 33 and 34, may we now recognize our SK Federation President, Board Member Reelu Linas.
Board Member Blooming Linas.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, to which was referred, Ordinance Number 081 Series of 2026 approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Sumilao, Bukidnon, entitled An Ordinance Enacting the Sumilao Youth Code, Institutionalizing the Sumilao Youth Development Council, and establishing policies and guidelines for the accreditation, participation, representation, and governance of youth and youth-serving organizations in the municipality of Sumilao, Bukidnon, have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. The committee finds that the ordinance seeks to establish a comprehensive local policy framework that will govern youth development in the municipality of Sumilao. By enacting the Sumilao Youth Code, the municipality provides a unified policy that institutionalizes youth participation in the governance, strengthened coordinations among youth and youth-serving organizations, and ensures the continuity of programs and initiatives that promote the welfare and development of the youth sector. The committee notes that the ordinance is consisting with Article 2, Section 13 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which recognizes the vital role of the youth in nation building and mandates the state to promote and protect their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social well-being. The Youth Code translates this constitutional mandate into concrete local policies that encourage active youth engagement and inclusive participation in community development. The committee further observed that the measure is firmly anchored on Republic Act 1910-74-2, otherwise known as the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act of 2015, which institutionalizes youth participation in local governance through the Sangguniang Kabataan and mandates the creation of the Local Youth Development Council, or LYDC, as a mechanism of ensuring the participation of accredited youth organizations in local decision-making. The ordinance reinforces these objectives by institutionalizing the Sumilao Youth Development Council and establishing clear policies on the accreditation, participation, and representation of youth and youth-serving organizations. Considering the foregoing, the committee, after a thorough review and study, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 081 Series of 2026, approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Sumilao, Bukidnon, for being proper, in order, and within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Okay, last, committee report of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development. Mr. Presiding Officer, the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, to which was referred, Ordinance Number 082 Series of 2026, approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Sumilao, Bukidnon, an ordinance institutionalizing the Sumilao Youth Development Council, or SYDC, adopting the Sumilao Youth Governance Manual, and providing for its composition, powers, functions, accreditation of youth organizations, and other purposes. Have considered the same and hereby submit their findings, comments, and recommendations. The committee finds that the ordinance seeks to institutionalize the Sumilao Youth Development Council, or SYDC, as a permanent, consultative, and coordinating body that will serve as a mechanism for meaningful youth participation in local governance. The measure likewise seeks to adopt a youth governance manual that will provide a standardized framework of the organization, accreditation, representation, participation, and governance of youth and youth-serving organizations within the municipality of Sumilao. The committee notes that the institutionalization of the SYDC will strengthen the participation of various youth sectors in the planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of youth development programs and policies It will likewise promote collaboration among youth organizations, the Sangguniang Kabataan, local government offices, education institutions, and other stakeholders in addressing youth concerns and advancing youth welfare. The committee further finds that the ordinance is consistent with Article 2, Section 13 of 1987 Philippine Constitution, which recognizes the vital role of youth in nation building and mandates the state of promote and protect their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social well-being by establishing and structured mechanism for youth engagement and participation by the municipality advances this constitutional policy at the local level. Consider the foregoing, the committee, after thorough review and study, hereby recommend for the approval of Ordinance Number 082 Series of 2026, approved on April 14, 2026 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Sumilao, Bukidnon, for being proper in order within the competence of the Sangguniang Bayan concerned to pass. I so move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Rialu Linas.
Proceeding to the new business for the day, Mr. Presiding Officer, for items number 35 to 37, we will now recognize again our board member from the 2nd District, Board Member Bobby J. Dinlayan.
Board Member Bobby J. Tinlayan is recognized.
Thank you again, Mr. Presiding Officer. Item number 35, proposed resolution number 230-2026 of the 28th SP series of 2026, a resolution commending and congratulating Mr. Jaymor Pugoy for his outstanding achievement as top 3 finisher in the Mountain Classic Senior category during the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Sibudas, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia, wherein the Philippines was crowned overall champion and for bringing honor to the province of Bukidnon, authored by this representation. Whereas Mr. Jaymor Pugoy, a resident of Purok 4, Camp 1, Maramag, province of Bukidnon, represented the Philippines as a national athlete in the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Sibudas, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia. Whereas the Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup 2026 is a prestigious championship where the finest national team athletes gather from across the region to compete and race through alpine botanical gardens, lush mountains, forest, and challenging terrain, a celebration of endurance, adventure, and shared passion for trail running. Whereas the Mountain Classic Senior category, Mr. Pugoy finished top 3, contributing to the historic achievement of the Philippine team being held as the overall champion in the said international competition. Whereas through his discipline, perseverance, and dedication to his sport, Mr. Pugoy has brought honor, pride, and distinction to the municipality of Maramag and to the entire province of Bukidnon. Whereas his remarkable achievement serve as an inspiration to the youth of Bukidnon to strive for excellence, uphold sportsmanship, and bring pride to the country in the international arena. Whereas the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Bukidnon recognizes the value of sports in developing youth leadership, resilience, and excellence, and deems it proper to commend individuals who serve as inspiration to the youth of the province. Now, therefore, on motion of this representation duly seconded by the members present, be it resolved as it is hereby resolved to commend and congratulate Mr. Jaymor Pugoy for his outstanding achievement as top 3 finisher in the Mountain Classic Senior category during the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Sibudas, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia, wherein the Philippines was crowned overall champion and for bringing honor to the province of Bukidnon. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution be furnished to Mr. Jaymor Pugoy. So, Moving, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Another resolution, number 231-2026 of the 28th SP, series of 2026, a resolution commending and congratulating Mr. Raven J. Ita for his outstanding achievement as gold medalist in the vertical uphill team event and silver medalist in the mountain classic senior team event during the 2026 classic senior team event during 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Cebu, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia, wherein the Philippines was crowned overall champion and for bringing honor to the province of Bukidnon. Authored by this representation, whereas Mr. Raven J. Ita, a resident of Old Nungnungan, Don Carlos Province of Bukidnon, and a second-year college student, represented the Philippines as national athlete in the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup, held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Cebu, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia. Whereas Mr. Ita won the gold medal in a vertical uphill team event, and the silver medal in the mountain classic senior team, contributing to the historic achievement of the Philippine team being held as the overall champion in the said international competition. Whereas through his discipline, perseverance, and dedication to his sport, Mr. Ita has brought honor, pride, and distinction to the municipality of Don Carlos and to the entire province of Bukidnon. Whereas his remarkable achievement serves as an inspiration to the youth of Bukidnon to strive for excellence, uphold sportsmanship, and bring pride to the country in the international arena. Now, therefore, motion of this representation duly seconded by the members present, be it resolved as it is hereby resolved to commend and congratulate Mr. Raven J. Ita for his outstanding achievement as gold medalist in the vertical uphill team event and silver medalist in the mountain classic senior team during the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Cebu, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia, wherein the Philippines was crowned overall champion for bringing honor to the province of Bukidnon. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution be furnished to Mr. Raven J. Ita. So moving, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item number 37, last resolution, number 232-2026 of the 28th SP, a resolution commending and congratulating Ms. Sisa Monterde for winning the silver medal in the Mountain Classic Junior category during the same event, the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26 in Cebu, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia, wherein the Philippines was crowned overall champion and for bringing honor to the province of Bukidnon. Authored by this representation, whereas Ms. Sisa Monterde, a resident of Purok 9, South Poblacion, Maramag, province of Bukidnon, and a grade 10 student, represented the Philippines as a national athlete in the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 24 to 26, 2026 in Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia. Whereas the Mountain Classic Junior category, Ms. Monterde claims the silver medal, contributing to the historic achievement of the Philippine team being held as the overall champion in the said international competition. Whereas the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Bukidnon recognizes the value of sports in developing youth leadership, resilience, and excellence, and deems it proper to commend individuals who serve as inspirations to the youth of the province. Now, therefore, motion of this representation and duly seconded by the members present, be it resolved as it is hereby resolved to commend and congratulate Ms. Sisa Monterde for winning the silver medal in the Mountain Classic Junior category during the 2026 Southeast Asian Trail Running Cup held on July 26, 2026 at Cebu, Cianjur, West Java, Indonesia, wherein the Philippines was crowned overall champion and for bringing honor to the province of Bukidnon. Resolved further that a copy of this resolution be furnished to Ms. Sisa Monterde. So moving, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you, Presiding Officer.
Before we proceed, can I ask you something, Board Member Bobby J? Okay, 1, 2, 3, tig. Sila na pong tulong ng apil, ani? No, just kidding.
Dagan ni sila dagan.
Okay.
International competition.
Mr. Presiding Officer, proceeding to item number 38, this will be reported by this representation. Item number 38 is a letter dated July 31, 2026 with attachment of Acting Provincial Governor Clive D. Quino submitting to this august body to adopt and approve the following resolutions duly approved by the Provincial Health Board of Bukidnon, to wit: Provincial Health Board Resolution number 2026-009 entitled A Resolution Endorsing the Tripartite Memorandum of Understanding between the Department of Health, Center for Health Development, Northern Mindanao, Provincial Government of Bukidnon, and the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, and authorizing the Honorable Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque to sign the same. And next is Provincial Health Board Resolution number 2026-010 entitled A Resolution Endorsing the Term of Partnership between the Provincial Government of Bukidnon and the Department of Health, Center for Health Development, Northern Mindanao for the implementation of the calendar year 2026 Annual Operation Plan or AOP, and authorizing the Honorable Provincial Governor Rogelio Neil P. Roque to sign the same. Moving for an omnibus motion to pass a resolution for the adoption of Provincial Health Board Resolution number 2026-009 and another resolution adopting Provincial Health Board Resolution number 2026-010. So moving for the omnibus motion for the adoption and approval of these two resolutions, subject to style, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Proceeding to items number 39 to 46, Mr. Presiding Officer, may we now recognize again our board member from the 4th Legislative District, Board Member Attorney Oliver Owen Garcia.
Board Member Attorney Owen Garcia is recognized.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Mr. Chairman, item 39 to 40 are communications coming from the Office of the Governor. Item 39 is a letter dated July 29, 2026 of Acting Provincial Governor Clive D. Quino requesting this august body for an authority for the Provincial Governor to enter into a use-of-rack agreement by and between the Provincial Government of Bukidnon and the Land Registration Authority. This pertains to the proposed execution of a new use-of-rack agreement to clarify and supplement the provisions of the previous use-of-rack agreement, which did not include a survey plan or technical description sufficiently identifying the specific portion of the property intended for the occupancy of the Registry of Deeds of Bukidnon. The proposed agreement addresses this deficiency by clearly delineating the area subject of the use-of-rack through an approved survey plan and technical description, both of which are attached to and made integral parts of the agreement, shall remain in force for a period of 50 years, commencing on the date of its execution, subject to the terms and conditions set out in the use-of-rack agreement. Is it available, the use-of-rack agreement? There is?
There is.
Okay, we'll just refer this to the Committee on Laws because I have not seen it actually. So moving to refer the matter to the Committee on Laws.
So there's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item number 40 to 45 are requests for authority to sign a purchase order of various requests from end users. So, Mr. Chair, omnibus motion to approve items 40 to 45 and to authorize the Governor to sign purchase order for the project item 40, supply and delivery of water dispensers for the 2nd District of Bukidnon for SP Dinlayan with contract cost of 1,147,500 pesos with winning bidder Caliber Industrial Sales Corporation covered by back resolution number 2026-424. Moving for its approval, subject to style.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item 41 is a purchase order for the project supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of withholding tax system for PACO with a contract cost of 898,260 pesos and 88 centavos with winning bidder SCL Dura Computer Services with back resolution number 2026-448. So moving for the approval of the said request, subject to style, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item 42 is for the to sign the purchase order for the project supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of 12-unit CCTV camera for SP Balansag with the contract cost of 600,000 pesos with the winning bidder Microflash Enterprises and covered by back resolution number 2026-449. Moving for the approval of the said request, subject to style.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item 43 is a purchase order for the project supply and delivery of network attached storage NAS device for database backup for PICTD with a contract cost of 795,000 pesos with winning bidder Biswiss Computer Center with back resolution number 2026-450. Moving for the approval said request, subject to style.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Item number 44 is a request to sign the purchase order for the project supply, delivery, installation, and commissioning of solar system for PICTD with a contract cost of 2,399,000 with winning bidder Biswiss Computer Center, covered by back resolution number 226-451. Moving for the approval of said request, subject to style, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Finally, item 45 is a request to sign purchase order for the project supply and delivery of one lot branded desktop and barcode scanner for PICTD with a contract cost of 3,645,000 with a winning bidder Biswiss Computer Center with under back resolution number 2026-452. Moving for the approval of said item, subject to style.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved. Take 46. Sisterhood.
Sisterhood. All right. Mr. Chair, there is a letter dated 11 August 2026 from Acting Provincial Governor Clive Quino addressed to the presiding officer and members of Sangguniang Panlalawigan through the Secretary. It reads, "This is to respectfully request authority for the provincial governor for and on behalf of the provincial government of Bukidnon to enter into and sign a sisterhood agreement with the city government of San Juan, Metro Manila, establishing a framework for cooperation and partnership between the two local government units. Under the proposed agreement, the PGB shall participate in and support the implementation of mutually beneficial programs, projects, and activities in the areas of economic development, tourism and culture, education, disaster preparedness, environmental sustainability, public health, social services, science and technology, urban planning and development, and sports development, subject to its available financial, material, and human resources and applicable laws, rules, and regulation. The PGB shall likewise coordinate and facilitate the exchange of information, knowledge, technology, and best practices with the city government of San Juan and may participate in the joint technical working group tasked to develop and recommend short-term or medium-term programs of activities. Any specific program, project, or undertaking requiring funding or a separate commitment shall remain subject to the availability of funds and the necessary approval under existing laws and regulations. Attached herewith are the proposed sisterhood agreement and other pertinent documents necessary for the implementation thereof for your ready reference and appropriate action. Thank you very much for your usual prompt attention and swift action on this matter, which we respectfully request to be treated with urgency. Truly yours, Clive Diquinho. Can you just flash the sisterhood agreement? You have a copy? No copy. Okay. The sisterhood agreement consists of 4 pages, basically outlining the agreement of the parties, which after review is actually mutually beneficial for both local government units. The San Juan City Council on July 6, 2026 passed city resolution establishing a sisterhood relationship between the City of San Juan, Metro Manila, and the province of Bukidnon, and authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Francisco Javier M. Zamora to sign for and behalf of the City Government of San Juan a sisterhood agreement. This resolution was forwarded to the provincial government through the office of the governor, and they intend last July 23, 2026, and then they intend to sign the sisterhood agreement with the provincial government of Bukidnon on August 20, 2028. That will be Thursday next week.
August 2026.
2026 rather, sorry. August 20, 2026.
I heard 28.
Yeah, nag-una-una na. So anyway, that will be next week. So, there is a need for us, number one, whether we will accept the intent of the City of San Juan, Metro Manila to enter into a sisterhood relations with the province of Bukidnon. The City Council of, as I earlier stated, the City Council of San Juan has already passed resolution number 179, series of 2026, expressing their intent to establish a sisterhood relations agreement with the province of Bukidnon. So, if we are so minded to accept the intent of the City of San Juan, then we need to pass a resolution accepting that intent and authorizing the governor to sign the sisterhood agreement, which is already prepared by the City of San Juan. So that is the proposal before us this afternoon, and I would like to solicit the minds of the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan relative to this request of the governor.
So what is then the pleasure of the body? Majority Floor Leader?
Just a query, Mr. Presiding Officer. Board Member Attorney Baba Garcia, nabatay, say advantages usually ani og nabay disadvantages?
Yep. Usually the advantage is we will have easier time if we have to go visit for benchmarking because they are our sister city. Just like my experience with the city of Makati, the city of Makati owns a university, the University of Makati. And any city resident who wants to enroll in the city of Makati is accepted by the city of Makati if you're a member of the city of Valencia or a resident of the city of Valencia. So katuto ang sa sa city of Makati. Now in this case, they're offering access to market, science and development, urban planning. Because definitely wala may agriculture dito sa San Juan. It's one of the smallest LGUs in Metro Manila. And perhaps we can gain access to their palengke with our produce coming from Bukidnon. They might give preferential treatment to produce coming from our province. So that is one way of helping our farmers go directly supply the palengke in San Juan. So that's one area where we can take advantage of. So it's not really disadvantageous because number one, they come here, it's purely agricultural. They come here, they might invest, okay, because they have money. We go there, our farmers can directly sell their products to the palengke of San Juan. So it is actually advantageous for a rural community like Bukidnon to engage with a highly urbanized city in Metro Manila. So that's my take. Anyway, ang baha, mabilin naman dito, dili man mabalhin dire.
Dili ba? Kasi
Off
ipasa
the record.
Anyway, Mr. Presiding Officer, mulan to, if wala man, more on the positive side naman siguro, Mr. Presiding Officer, ang result ani, well, ako alam po na, wala ko problema regarding ani. Ma'am, depende sa rest of the boards. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Yeah, any more suggestions, recommendations? And remember, Napo is at the hotel sa San Juan, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's in the center of Metro Manila,
Yes.
actually. Sila. So, it is where the former president came, Joseph Estrada, the sitting senator,
Jinggoy
and
JV.
Ejercito. So, nothing to lose on the part of the province of Bukidnon. And of the record, I was made to understand that the mayor of San Juan is intending to run for entitled Resolution Accepting the Intent of the City of San Juan, Metro Manila, to enter into a sisterhood agreement with the province of Bukidnon and authorizing the Honorable Provincial Governor Rogelio Nil Piroque to negotiate, sign, and execute the sisterhood agreement for and on behalf of the province of Bukidnon, subject to style. So moving, Sir Chair.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to us, Sister Rakas.
Sister Akas.
Mr. Presiding Officer, since there are no items in the third and final reading, we will now proceed to other communications. I move for the following, Mr. Presiding Officer. Item number 1 be forwarded to the author, Board Member Attorney Oliver Owen Babar Garcia for information and appropriate action. Item number 2 be noted and forwarded to the Committee on Appropriation for information and reference. Item number 3 be noted and forwarded via email to all SP members for information and reference. Items number 4 and 5 be noted. Item number 6 be forwarded to the members of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability for information and appropriate action. And item number 7, requesting the Secretary to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to post the at the SP Bulletin Board for 15 calendar days the NWRB case number 2024-2025. I so move, Mr. Presiding Officer.
There's a motion. It's been duly seconded. Motion approved.
Proceeding now to the other matters from the board members, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Before we proceed,
Aye.
I just remembered, no, Kiriding San Juan is a very, sa ako, grabe akong sa San Juan. Kay I grew up there and I graduated sa akong grade school and high school sa Lasal Green Hills. So
May bias.
Presided by person coming from San Juan.
San Juan. Yeah, so we will proceed now to the
Other matters,
other
Mr.
matters
Presiding
of the
Officer?
board members.
Leah Linas, Relo Linas.
Board member Linas is recognized.
So good afternoon once again, Mr. Presiding Officer and my fellow board members. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite all of you to grace us with your presence as we celebrate the annual Provincial Linggo ng Kabataan 2026, which will be held this year in the city of Valencia, Bukidnon from August 14 to 16, 2026. So this celebration will bring together the Sangguniang Kabataan officials and local youth development councils from all over province of Bukidnon. So I would like personally invite all of you to join us during the grand opening ceremony on Friday, August 14, 2026 at 3 p.m. The formal invitation letters and program of activities have already been provided to your respective seats. So we would truly be honored to have you with us as we celebrate and recognize the meaningful contributions of the youth across our province. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you, board member Linas. Hope to see you there too.
Since there are no more items for the board members, other matters for the board members, Mr. Presiding Officer, may we now recognize our SP Secretary for the Secretary's time.
Attorney Magwali is recognized.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. There are just two minor announcements this afternoon, Your Honors. First, in line with the province effort to promote Bukidnon coffee products, one of the promoters here, the farm of Andrew Rubio of CMU, the name Coffee Wagon, has invited all board members to taste their coffee products at the View Deck Provincial Capitol.
When?
Ang ilang ilang suggestion kung pwede magsabay for free ni siya ganahan
Kung napod si Gov, right?
mag-agree lang ang board.
Siguro agdo na to kung kano sa na available si Gov, then ayahan na to kuan ng Mr. Presiding Officer ang confirmations from the board kay basig mo agree meron kani nga date wala pa si Gov, so basig ako ang suggestion lang basig pwede na to maagad ang schedule ni Gov kung naa na siya.
Okay.
Dahil pabalon kape, so na pakapin.
Gwapo na siya sa kung pwede mo sa 20 na okay na itong bisita from San Juan. Okay.
From what I understand, tudluan tag cupping. Smelling, siyempre pwede tag kape, but we really thought how to smell the aroma in Arabica coffee kay coffee capital or sani ka paling kamot mahimong Arabica capital, and yet we do not know how to smell the aroma in each cup. So tudluan ta, I think ni Dr. Andrew Milinchon at the sani kanang
View Deck.
Yeah, sa Coffee Wagon, View Deck, together with the owner, of course, si Bruce, who's a barista and a brewer, roaster. So, kana ang mahitabo. I think they did that already to a group coming from Air Asia, Philippines. At so, ilang gi-invite ng Sangguniang Panlalawigan for the same purpose, para makahibaw mo, nakita di ay nga, unsay notes ani, ma-explain nila, kaya pasimut-simuton man ta nila ang aroma, pa duso atong ilong dito sa kape. And then, after that, of course, manginom tag kape. So, I think that's a plan. And mas mayo kung dungan tantanan. It can be done siguro before the session.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, nga natatanan, aron atong ma-taste ang sa tawag ani. Makatudlo sa aroma ba?
Before the mag-session, proper session.
Yes.
Para hyper po daw.
So, establish na lang nato ang date. Kaya ang next session will be 18. And then next will be 25. So, Nana ba si Gob?
On the 15th, maabot na sa Gob.
925?
We don't know yet kung kano sa mo balik si Gob. But si Vice Gov Kinyo, murag ang iya taman sa 18 man siguro ang iyang kwan. 15 taman ang iyang pagka-acting governor.
Okay.
Lagi kay mangutan na tuod ko kay di ba na ato set at unsa ito Attorney Paul 25 and 26 sa Cagayan ba to?
Kwan pa to, ato na itong
September?
i-defer because of the civil service month
So September.
celebration. So ato i-defer nga to sa September na to.
Okay.
Oo, September na.
Okay. Thank you.
So 25, 26 sa September.
Pwede 18, pwede 25 siguro.
25.
25 na lang kay laman tugod tayo bisita pod sa kuan sa pizza 20. Aron kay isa ra tamuanhi. O kamuanhi magyapon ta kay session man day.
Yeah, no, actually, 18 man ang Tuesday.
Yes, and then naatay bisita pod sa
Sa 20.
20.
Busy man ta na.
Oh, most probably panahon gyud ang Gob kay siyempre ala si Gobra. So 20 that is
Thursday.
Thursday. Oh. So
Apiki man na, kung wata kayo sa schedule.
yeah, so 25.
25 na lang siguro,
25
to be
na
sure.
siguro.
Ay. Isa kay na day bu question mo din tayo tuod ko. Mr. Presiding Officer, naman goy may gani kay na move tong 25 and 26 kinamang goy invitation from the ALG for participation in the Provincial Leadership and Development Program PLDP. Mag-start August 24, Monday, will continue on until August 27. Ang invite magud ani is Provincial Gov, Vice Gov, and Sangguniang Panlalawigan members, Committee Chairman on Health and IPMR. So,
Upat na mo wala.
upat, murag mahulog upat. So, pwede siya 2 years earlier lang siguro. Ay 20 na may bisita, maipit makuha na. 18 lang siguro. Na naman si Gov, di ba? Kay
18, Attorney Baba, okay na?
wala siguro.
So, final, 18.
18. Time, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Morning lang siguro. Like 10, no? 10 pero 10:30.
10:30. Apa, diretso na po din lunch.
Yeah.
10:30 at 10:30 on
July 18.
August
August 18.
18,
August 18.
2026. Okay.
And
Okay, second announcement, Honorable Presiding Officer, is in view of our foundation, HP Foundation is forthcoming. This requires preparation, most importantly on the venue and date. So as early as this month, we are now identifying the venue and the date. So this is also celebrated
Christmas party na
like sabay sa atong Christmas party. But this is SP Foundation celebration, just like what we did last year at Folk Art Theater man siguro to. Now, at this point of time, we will ask this honorable body kung asa ta nga venue para ma-coordinate na mo daan ang area, ma-studyhan na mo. And then, likewise, date, honorable.
Mas maayo siguro, Attorney, if sa 18 na ito na, nga na si Vice Gov Clive and ang ubang mga members.
Okay, we will submit to that, honorable presiding officer.
Kaya pa
Perhaps we will reiterate this on next
session.
Okay.
Thank you for considering.
At least karon maka nanamay ma-suggest mo no naan po.
Yeah,
you are welcome.
Papo gani siguro para lapad-lapad dito sa sports complex. Nung basket tong covered court,
Hindi,
gymnasium.
this is swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
Swimming party ta.
Salvavida party.
So that is all, Honorable Presiding Officer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Attorney
Mr. Chair,
Maguale.
in addition to that, gahapong adlaw, na adunay panel, panel interview para sa ato ang next batch, third batch rather, sa ato ang mga medical scholars. This was attended by this presentation, board member Kasinabe, Ma'am Joan Bayona, and Attorney Paul Maguale. So natay upcoming murag gwapo nga mga gwapo nga mga prospects kumbaga sa ato ang medical scholars for the third batch, tulo ka buok. Two coming from Manolo Fortich, and then isa coming from Malaybalay, Balaybalay City. So nakastorya lang ni Attorney Paul gahapon nga kung maayo siguro atong ma-inform ang ato ang mga district, atong mga barangay captains o sa ato ang as well as atong IP kuan dato no ka naay medical scholarship program ang province of Bukidnon. Kay basig wala lang sila kabalo, at least mapaybalo na to. Kay tungod upat ka slots ang gi-allocate sa USTP. And then tulo lang sila. So napay isa actually. So kung naatay kailang nga nasa USTP karon, mga anak nila baka dito nga nanginahanglan scholarship, pwede na to ipa unsa ni? Ato ipa basig pwede na to mapas kay sayang ang slot pod nga gihatag. Then isa pod ga-open na pod si Bukso. Bago lang gahapon ang MOA ba to? Kuya Paul no, MOA man to
Yes, gahapon sa buntag.
Yeah, so umabot ang Bukso pod mag-allocate na pod ta og ganang mag-allocate po sa slots for scholarship. So kato lang mo to na additional lang sa kuan gihapon, sa ganap gihapon. Yes.
Further day, Honorable Presiding Officer, last Thursday, nagbisita ang province of Agusan del Norte sa ato, represented by Board Member Iscasinas and Board Member Una. And we conducted sharing our best practices here, most especially on the housing. We expressed our thanks for Attorney Honorable Oliver Owen Garcia, who joined us, as well as Honorable Board Member Bobby Dinlayan, also who joined us during the visit. And in the morning also was the benchmarking activity of Sultan Kudarat Province, who are interested on the coffee program of the province. So we also thank Board Member Marlon Brando Dinlayan, who represented the SP there down at the Folk Art Theater. So those were big events that transpired last week, Your Honor. Thank you very much for your help.
Yeah, salamat sa mga board members nga nag-attend, no? Very welcoming na, as long as dili lang boundary dispute atong ilang anian din sa ato. Is there more?
That is all.
Thank you. Before we adjourn, no, salamat din kayo no, sa inyong pakiramay no, sa naitabo lagi sa akong ama. And Attorney Paul sa SB family, sa inyong nga flowers dito sa burial sa akong papa. So life must go on. So kani okay, life man nalang koy gamay nga storya nga tinuod ni ay lang maghila ka. After 10 years of marriage, a wife asked her husband to describe her. He looked at her slowly and then said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. What does that mean? She asked. Adorable, beautiful, cute, delightful, elegant, fashionable, gorgeous, and hot, he replied. She smiled happily and then asked, what about IJK? He replied, I'm just kidding. That's all. Major Leader?
Yes, Mr. Presiding Officer, I move for the adjournment of today's session.
Our session is adjourned at exactly 4:50. Thank you so much.